Kelly Krauskopf, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. If you were perfectly fine when Fever fans were bending over, kissing your ass, applauding your decisions, you better stand here and take it when Fever fans are pissed off, upset, and are voicing their displeasures. If our voice mattered that much then, you best believe it matters that much now.
The president of the Indiana Fever recently made comments about Caitlin Clark that have sent the entire basketball world buzzing. Moreover, I must admit that when someone attempts to downplay the significance of their why, it changes everything for franchise players. The reaction was immediate and intense. Karma, in a peculiar way, highlights the true leader. The consequences of this mistake are utterly ridiculous. So, what do you think happens when organizations try to scale back their biggest stars?
Your brand is going to get as big and go as far as Caitlin Clark takes it. And I don't think Kelly Krauskopf understands that. And the latest video that is surfacing, floating around, being consumed by Fever fans across the globe, because this is an international superstar they have on their hands. This may have been the straw that broke the camel's.
The staff seemed to suggest that someone believed this would occur with the Indiana Fever. Recording a discussion about their intended brand development was, of course, a brilliant idea, especially beyond just Caitlin Clark, since nothing screams smart business strategy quite like publicly criticizing the person who independently rescued your franchise from complete obscurity. Right? In their statements, the Fever leadership, yes, I'm using that term generously here, outlined their goal of building a lasting brand. Much like Apple, Caitlin Clark's role in all this is to ensure everyone knows they want to avoid depending too heavily on their core players, as concerns loom over the team. Fundamental players, it seems, is just another way of speaking corporate jargon.
That we want to sustain the growth and the interest level in the franchise. I mean, this is about the Indiana Fever. Yes, we have a foundational player in Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston, and we're going to continue to add to that. But I want this team to be the leader in the country, and a brand, an enduring brand, like Apple or something. I mean, we have a real opportunity.
Let me break down just how tone-deaf these comments were. Essentially, this executive told fans, loudly and publicly, that they want the franchise to grow and maintain excitement, all while suggesting that Caitlin Clark, the very person driving that growth and interest, shouldn't be prioritized over McDonald's-style claims of wanting recognition beyond hamburgers, even as they deliberately try to hide the Big Mac. Naturally, fans responded immediately, which is exactly what you'd expect when you insult their intelligence. Social media erupted, with users blasting the organization for being completely out of touch. Honestly, they deserved every bit of the backlash. They brought it on themselves.
This isn't the NFL. This is the WNBA. A star is going to take the Fever where the Fever want to go. And that star is Caitlin Clark. Kelly, you're talking about being a leading brand. You're talking about sustaining growth, sustaining the interest level in the franchise. You know how that happens? Is if Caitlin Clark stays in Indiana, is if Caitlin Clark is participating in an entertaining and exciting brand of basketball that doesn't take away and diminish her skill sets, that doesn't turn off fans that have been following her for the last 3 to 5 years.
These supposedly intelligent business people seem to forget a crucial fact. Perhaps 4,000 people tuned in to watch the Fever on a good night before Caitlin Clark arrived. Television ratings were so low that few bothered to sign up. In the sports world, the team was essentially invisible. Then Clark showed up, and suddenly arenas were selling out, attendance records were being shattered, and the franchise became a major topic of national conversation. Yet, in their infinite wisdom, the leadership assumed this success was solely due to their organizational structure. They couldn't be more wrong. What they failed to recognize is that genuine talent, players who captivate audiences, creates that kind of momentum. The comparison to Apple is laughable. Apple built its empire around groundbreaking products, celebrating the iPhone, the iPad, and every innovation in between. The Fever, meanwhile, acts as if it can downplay its brightest star without consequence. History shows that franchises with superstar talent don't minimize it, they build everything around it. You don't reduce Michael Jordan's influence, you amplify it. The Lakers didn't accidentally create Showtime, and the Bulls didn't stumble into global stardom. These things happen because organizations recognize exceptional talent and construct their identity around it. Instead, the Fever seems to have ignored this basic truth, focusing on spreading resources evenly, appeasing feelings, and neglecting the primary objective, winning. The timing of these comments made the situation even more absurd. Caitlin Clark had already been navigating a system that underutilized her talents, struggling to get the ball, dealing with teammates who didn't pass, and participating in an offense designed to limit her effectiveness. And then leadership made statements that confirmed fans' worst fears about where their priorities lie. The backlash was swift and severe. Social media erupted, questioning the franchise's actual value. Fans even began speculating about Clark's future, wondering if she might thrive elsewhere, exactly the opposite of what you want when building a lasting brand. The truth is, the organization has every right to be concerned. If they fail to demonstrate commitment to success, Clark won't stay forever. She is too talented, too competitive, and too driven to waste her prime years on a franchise that fails to appreciate her. Imagine if she played in Boston or New York with this level of dysfunction. The scrutiny would be relentless, and the pressure to fix things immediate. Yet the Fever seems to believe that being in Indianapolis grants them immunity. Ironically, in trying to avoid dependence on Clark, they are increasing the likelihood of losing her. Undervaluing key assets creates opportunities for competitors eager to build their brand around her talent. Karma, in this case, is strikingly clear. Instead of coming off as a well-managed organization, their remarks immediately sparked criticism and controversy. They appear like tone-deaf executives who fail to understand their own plan, despite having ample resources and talent at their disposal. Some people are fortunate, yet they misunderstand why. They assume success can be replicated without the star who made it possible, and they are about to learn the hard way how professional sports punish such miscalculations. Don't be surprised when the basketball community calls them out. The Fever learned this lesson the hard way. This moment is larger than a single team, a single executive, or even one superstar. It's about a franchise's direction, the expectations of millions of fans, and the responsibilities of leading an organization in the national spotlight. Every choice, every statement, becomes a turning point. Fans today are more connected, informed, and passionate than ever. They know the history, see the numbers, and recognize the players who carry the game forward. Their voices come from loyalty, investment, and the desire to see the team reach its fullest potential. They aren't just observers, they are stakeholders, the heartbeat of the franchise. At the center of this moment stands a franchise under pressure, a fanbase demanding clarity, and a superstar whose influence has reshaped the landscape. Such impact is rare, generational even, and it doesn't occur by accident. It occurs when talent, opportunity, and attention collide in a way that transforms everything. When a player brings millions of new eyes to the game, fills arenas, and inspires a new generation of fans, managing the roster becomes about stewarding a movement. The decisions made now will define the tone of the franchise tomorrow, whether it rises to the occasion or squanders its potential. Championship-level organizations understand this truth. They build on momentum, elevate their stars, and thrive under pressure. That is the difference between strong leadership and confusion, between lasting success and missed opportunity. Beyond statements and reactions lies the bigger question: where does the team go from here? The world is watching not just what was said, but what happens next. Will the franchise seize the opportunity, strengthen the bond with fans, and build its identity around the talent that transformed everything? Or will mixed messaging and uncertainty create cracks that the basketball world will continue to question? The consequences extend far beyond headlines. They shape trust, culture, player perception, and fan support. Every move carries weight. Fans are alert, engaged, and vocal. This moment has sparked dialogue and fire that won't fade quietly. Whether this becomes a turning point toward unity or a warning of deeper issues depends entirely on the organization's next steps. Momentum is powerful, It can lift you higher than imagined or vanish in an instant. The story is far from over. The next statement, decision, or season will reveal where the franchise truly stands and the identity it is ready to build. The basketball world will remember how this moment was handled, who listened, who adapted, and who rose to the challenge. This is bigger than a headline, a quote, or a single controversy. It's a crossroads. What happens next will shape the legacy of this franchise for years to come. And trust me, the next chapter will be powerful. Make sure you're here for it, because if you think things are intense now, just wait. The real story is still unfolding, and the next move will change everything. Thanks for watching.